Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Explore Richland. I'm your host, Mark Ingham. Well, our show today is a little unique in the fact that we typically feature destination businesses, places you and your family can go for a great experience. But today we are excited to showcase a major employer in our area and an international leader in nuclear energy. Today we will talk to Framatome's Richland Site Manager and highlight the innovative work being done right here in Richland. We will also give you information on a giant recruitment effort that is underway. Well, now it's my pleasure to welcome Framatome's Richland Site Manager, Lance Stevens, to the program. Lance, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Mark. Welcome.
Thank you. Well, I'm thrilled to talk with you. I appreciate the time. And let's just start, for those who might not know, share with us a little bit about Framatome and specifically the Richland site.
Sure. So, starting big picture, Framatome is a world leader in nuclear energy, in clean nuclear energy, from supporting power plants to design and construction of power plants to engineering and fuel. And what we do here at the Richland site is the fuel. And fuel is what goes into a core of a power plant. That's what creates the power. And that's what we send out these doors.
Perfect. And you know the work and the mission you just described might sound familiar to those in our community, but maybe the name doesn't. You know, my dad worked at Framatome for 34 years, and I'm aware of several name changes. When you're out in the community, what names you most often hear?
Siemens, Areva, and Framatome are the three most common, but we've had probably 15 names through the years at least.
Oh, wow.
We keep our business cards, and so it's kind of fun to bring those out and see how many that we've had. One thing that's unique, so even though we've had lots of names, it's the site and the people that really make this place special.
I know my dad loved working here, and I think when he was hired on, it was Exxon Nuclear.
Oh, okay, he goes way back. All
yeah,
right.
He told me Jersey Nuclear before that. Lance, share with us a little bit about the state of the nuclear energy industry today.
It's extremely exciting because we see a bright future, a very bright future. And I'm sure you've seen the news stories and energy about the future of nuclear. With the challenging climate goals that we have as a country and as a world, nuclear has to play a big part of that. And we're starting to see that support get built through the community, through the governments, within the U.S. and the world. So the future of nuclear is extremely bright.
Yeah, it's an exciting time.
It is.
I feel like Richland's one of the industry leaders. You know, this location is one of the industry leaders in the world in that field, which is exciting.
It is. It is.
And you know, recently we've heard a lot about advanced nuclear reactors. Can you explain the difference between the traditional nuclear reactors and the advanced reactors?
I'll keep it really high level, but you bet. So the light water reactor market is made up primarily of boiling water reactors, which is a GE design, and pressurized water reactors, which is a Westinghouse design. The power plant that we have close to us is a boiling water reactor. So we make fuel for both types of plants. In fact, we're known as being the world's most flexible fuel fabrication plant. So if you have a light water reactor plant, we can make fuel for you. So that's the light water reactor market. Advanced is, so we can only use uranium that's enriched up to 5% currently for light water reactor plants. The advanced reactor world, all the new reactor designs are being designed around slightly higher enriched uranium, so up to around 20%. So none of these reactors are currently operating, but they're in the design and licensing stage. And so our part here is we want to be part of the supply chain for those new reactors, because you have to have someone who builds this unique type of fuel for these reactors. And these typically are smaller, very safe designs.
Well, what positions Framatome to lead the industry into the future?
Besides the people like we were talking about, we have some technologies that just suit perfectly for the advanced reactor market. And you're standing in front of what's called dry conversion, and that's one of those technologies that will position us well. That brings the infeed, the uranium infeed, and it turns it into powder, and it's especially green. There is no effluent from that process. And it's a stark comparison to what we used to have, which is called wet conversion. With wet conversion, we had to have lagoon pools. And it was about a 15-year project that we put dry conversion in, and we clean up these lagoons.
Well, I know Framatome has been working closely on some legislation with city and local legislators. Tell us why that is so important.
The market that we live in and compete in is very competitive. Not to be repetitive here, but it's a tight margin industry, and so any kind of benefits that we can help make us more competitive in the future helps us expand the business, which helps us bring in jobs. And so the TUA is one really good example of cooperation. We are very proud of the support we get from the city, from TriDeck, Port of Benton, the universities, legislators. There's nothing but positive support from the community here.
Perfect, and you touched on it great right there, but I did want to ask you to talk about Framatome's partnership with the city of Richland, and specifically the targeted urban area, which you mentioned we call the TUA.
So we just signed contracts for the TUA, and that is helping us on what's called phase 1 for advanced reactors. And what that allows us to do, we're bringing in jobs. It's around 25 new jobs, and we're actually building prototypes for these advanced reactor fuels. It's very exciting work. The TUA will also help us stay competitive as we consider a much larger expansion here in the next 5 years.
So what does the TUA mean for other manufacturing companies in Richland or ones who are considering moving to Richland?
So it just makes this area that much more attractive. We have so many things going for us here in the area. Intelligent workforce, beautiful weather,
yep,
like we're standing in right now. It's a great place to expand to. And with the efforts that the local community is helping drive, going from clean up to clean energy, it's a golden opportunity. And TriDeck and the city and the community have done a great job to attract some companies, especially through these TUAs. And there's a lot more in queue. So we're excited to be part of this expansion.
It's great, and you mentioned expansion, and I've talked with you off camera and on camera, and I heard Framatome talk about 200 jobs that they will need to hire. Talk about the recruitment effort to accomplish that.
So I am big in workforce development. It's one of my passions, and I can honestly say we collectively as a community, we're going to have to do something, because the number of companies that are coming needing well-educated, excited, hardworking people keeps growing. And we, as the community, we've got not to say the raw material, we've got the people, we have the opportunities. We need to make sure those opportunities are known by folks going through the education process. People know these jobs are coming, and there will be a crunch. There's going to be a workforce, there already is a workforce crunch. We're competing with the other companies here for some of the same resources, and that will do nothing but grow.
Yeah, and I think one of the interesting and unique things about Framatome and your workforce development was you're encouraging people to apply and hire, and then you guys actually will train them on how to do the job. And as far as people can go to college, they can go to school, they can learn certain things, but you want to teach people how to do things the Framatome way. Maybe talk a little bit about that.
Oh, I love it. So safety first. The only way that we're in this industry is safety first. We want to train individuals. We need people who want to learn, people who want to work hard, and so that's the foundation that we start with. But we will train individuals here. The nice thing is we have almost a macro economy here. We need supervisors and managers, we need engineers, we need PhDs, we need folks straight out of high school who have the right work ethic, because we have a lot of operators here at the site. So as long as you bring the right attitude, we will train you, and you can make a very good career here at Framatome.
And maybe one of my last questions is, what does the future hold for Framatome and its workforce? And maybe tie it into expansion. Where are you guys going to expand here in Richland?
Okay, great question. So as far as size of expansion, right now we employ around 575 people, and we're looking with the advanced reactor market to expand to at least 800 people here at the site, and that's within the next 5 years. And then where? We own a lot of land around here. There's a hay field to our west side. It's a farm circle there. We would take about half of that farm circle, and we will create a structure that's about the same size as what we're looking at here. It's about a replica of the size of the plant that we have here. And that would be solely focused on the advanced reactor market.
Beautiful. Well, Lance, thanks so much for your time.
Mark,
Lance
thank
Stevens,
you.
Richland Site Manager here at Framatome. Appreciate your time and had a great time talking with you and learning more about Framatome, and I hope our viewers did as well. And of course, if you would like more information on Framatome, you can visit them online. Simply visit the link below. And don't forget, if you're looking for any information on anything happening in the city of Richland, visit us at our website, www.ci.richland.wa.us. And don't forget, we are where you are. Find the city of Richland on all the popular social media platforms. I'm Mark Ingham. Thanks for joining me on this edition of Explore Richland.